Hey there guys, this is Flamesaron, aka YouTube's Toske. This is the second video in that Sonic 20th birthday bash thing. And I figured since I kind of owe you guys a video like this, I decided to do a action figure review. And I felt that the best figures to do were the Sonic figures from Jazwares. And we're going to take a look at all the ones that I had in my collection. You know, the ones that I showed in the picture on the My Thoughts on Sonic video. I won't say any more that I need to say from the actual video than from what I said in that video. I've already stated that I feel like they're in proper scale. I feel like they'd be, this is the size they would be if they were actual, like, real, like they were real characters in something. We're going to start with Sonic, obviously, as you guys can tell. Articulation, you know, pretty good. They bend at the arms, waist, leg. Sometimes, you can kind of, same with these, but you don't want to, like, break them. The head can kind of turn a little bit, so if you want to have them looking off in the distance, being like, or something, I don't know. But yeah, Sonic. A common complaint that I have with these figures, though, that you'll probably figure out, mainly with Sonic, well, for one thing, for Sonic on his own, I mean, sometimes he looks a little tilted. I don't know if you guys can tell, but kind of, like on this leg, makes him look tilted. Also, has the really hard time standing up. That's about as best as I can get him. It doesn't even look presentable. I'm going to even try. Let's see. Maybe if I bend the... Nope, can't stand him up. Though to help out with that, the figures come with these little things. There's a little peg thing, or not really peg, a little thing right there. You can prop them. Thing was flying. But you can prop them like this, and then they'll stand. And even if you want, you can kind of give them. That's not going to work. You can give them like a cool little pose, like something like that. Or if you want, you can kind of twist it around to where he's just standing on the platform, which doesn't really work, I suppose. Maybe if you twist it a little bit, try and make it all even. No, it doesn't work. It's because of his head, I think. But yeah, there's Sonic. And keep in mind, I don't have all the figures in this line, but I do have a good bit of them. Next, we'll start with my favorite character, or rather, we'll go on with my favorite character, Knuckles, who actually can stand on his own. And like I said, these are the 3-inch, I think 3.5-inch figures. But, you know, same kind of articulation. His hands can actually move because I've actually played with them a little bit more. Some of these figures I got recently, while others I just got later. And obviously, Knuckles, he can stand on his own. That may be due to his feet. I'm not entirely sure. No real complaints here. I mean, his hair kind of gets in the way with the articulation of his arm, so he has a little bit limited, but you know, you can still like go put his hands like up like this. You know, not really much to say about Knuckles. I mean, he's my favorite Sonic character, and you know, his figure's nice and whatnot. Next, let's talk about probably one of the more popular characters next to Tails, who I actually don't have, and Knuckles. Shadow. Yeah, he can actually stand up pretty well. He's pretty much the same as Sonic, minus, you know, the obviously detail. I mean, they all look like the characters, so I mean, you can't really complain much. Same kind of articulation. I mean, obviously he looks different than Sonic. I think he can, and probably due to his feet, like his shoes, he's able to stand up easier. I'm not exactly sure how. Sonic just kind of has a rough time. You'll probably notice that all my figures can, well, he just kind of tripped. There was an invisible banana peel right here, I think. But, you know, can't really complain. Sonic's really the only one who can't really stand up that well. I don't know if that's due to, you know, whatever. But yeah. Next, we're going to talk about probably the worst figure in the line, and Nick's going to get pissed at me, but SBO. You guys are probably thinking, what are you talking about? SBO is cool. Yeah, SBO is cool, but his figure sucks, in my opinion. Because the paint job, you can't really tell, is not that good. I'm not really in a good setting for my reviews, and this camera probably isn't the best one. I'm actually using my digital camera that I got for graduation. Also, his left foot kind of doesn't really connect with the others, and you know, you can't really set him up to where he's standing on both feet. He'll be like standing on one and kind of hovering over the other. There's a small little thing right here where like his actual like doesn't really connect, so you can kind of twist him all the way around. And sometimes, depending on where you get him from, he's got a chip right here. So, oh, that one more thing. Although he can twist his hands pretty well, I guess not this one. This is actually the second one I had because I broke the other one. This finger right here, this hand right here refuses. Well, it refuses to twist. Like with this one, you can twist it. You can pose him about, and even his feet you can twist. But this thing refuses to twist. Sorry, that was out of frame. You can just kind of move it around a little bit. That's probably due to his hand being kind of broken. I don't know, maybe they glued it in there. So if you want to pose him doing like a different sort of thing with his fingers, that'll be kind of hard. But yeah, in my opinion, this is probably the worst figure. Maybe they'll do another one that's better, I don't know. Design-wise, it looks fine. It's just that, you know, as a figure, you know, there's just some stuff wrong with it. Also, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But if you got SBO at like a store or something, then you probably either got Knuckles or Vector. He's a pretty cool figure. Initially I had some problems with him, but he's actually not that bad. Like all the other figures, he can stand up pretty well, and of course he's got the support of his tail. And you know, he's pretty cool. If you look at his arms, it looks like that, it kind of looks like that these should be like around here. But if you put them like that to where, you know, it's set up to where it's the way it probably should be, you can tell that it's the wrong way because it looks like his hand's going backwards. That probably doesn't make any sense. Basically, I'm saying from the front, his hand, the arms kind of look like they were designed to be reverse or something, I don't know. Same kind of articulation. Since he's bigger, he's a little different. Tail can move. This can move. His head can move. His fists and his feet can move. And he's got a finger. He wants you to join his army. Vector wants you. Not you or you, but you. You right there, son. And if you got SBO, the SBO figure, it came with a limited edition version of the comic book. See, it says Special Collector's Edition right there, and on the back, it's got this. I actually haven't looked through it. Doesn't really show that much. But I do remember this being one of my favorite arcs, like the After Years thing. It's like, the planet's gonna blow up because we fucked up the timeline. But yeah, speaking of groups, the next one I'm going to talk about is another group. It is Metal Sonic and Eggman. From what I've heard in the new 20th birthday toy line, there's actually going to be a Robotnik style figure. Looks like the old Eggman, but you know. Let's start with Eggman first. He's obviously the tallest out of them all. Got pretty much the same articulation except for maybe the head. You can't turn his head. You can turn his legs though. You can make him dance. Do 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 do. And Metal Sonic was so ashamed that he fell over. But yeah, not that bad. He's kind of small. If you guys remember the other Eggman figure, you'll notice that he's actually considerably smaller than the other. Of course, he's like what, maybe 4 inches, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Eggman, where is Sonic? Roar! Next we're going to talk about Metal Sonic. Like I mentioned before, he's actually my favorite villain. And I don't consider Shadow a villain like I've said before, so. Pretty cool figure. His little shoulder pad things go up and down. If you get him, he'll probably come like this. If you're like me, where you're kind of picky about how the toy looks compared to how they look in the game or show or whatever they're from, then you can switch. Basically, I'm saying you can switch him up. He stands up on his own kind of like SBO. He kind of has a weird little tilt thing. You can't really tell. If I knew how to zoom in on this figure, I'd probably show you guys. But, you know. Pretty good. Same sort of articulation. Pretty cool. Got some detail. You know, he's got a little more detail than the other figures because he's a robot. Only problem is his arms right here, they're use a thinner plastic, so you could probably tear a little bit easier than others. And when you look at them, they actually kind of look like they have a little bit of age on them. But you know, overall, pretty cool figure. I like to fill around with this one a good bit. Shit, fly away. Speaking of which, the next figure we will talk about is Jet the Condor. No, Jet the Hawk. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Comes with these things. You can actually take them off, which I don't really want to because they're kind of a pain to get on. He also comes with this little board thing. Same articulation as the others, and you can put him on a board thing. You can stand up on his own. You put him on his board thing. I never actually played Sonic Riders, so I don't know what his personality is, and I don't know how really he sounds, but, you know. Tony Hawk, man. Yeah. Okay. So the only figures that are left are the 3-pack one, and that is Hyper Shadow, or I guess Super Shadow at this point, Super Silver, and Super Sonic, who surprisingly can stand. Same kind of articulation. Shadow, in particular, he looks the same as, you know, regular Shadow, just with a different kind of paint job. Silver, again, the same thing. I don't have the Silver figure. He actually probably can't stand up as easily as the others. Yeah, I'm kind of giving up on him. Sonic's the only different one. His legs are a little loose, you know. The only significant difference is his hair, because, you know, he just looks different. You know, not really much of anything major. He looks pretty cool. You know, my only problem is I don't really like the way his hair is. I know that's kind of I like his hair. I like Super Sonic when he looks more like a Shadow, except with like a different sort of coloring thing. I mean, this kind of makes more sense because then he doesn't look like Shadow and he looks more original. And this is also more accurate to the old games, which a lot of people tend to enjoy more. But, you know, yeah. This set came with little miniature Chaos Emeralds. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, came with 6 little Chaos Emeralds. But yeah, those are all the figures I have in this line. I plan to get more of them. I don't plan on getting really any more. Like, I might get the super articulated Sonic one, and I might get the some of the other figures. But I'm mainly going to get the remainder of at least the other characters. The only other Sonic one I'm going to get is the Black Knight one. And when I mean say Sonic, I mean like regular Sonic. Like, of course, I'm going to get the Werehog one, and, you know, Amy, and, you know, any other character that pops up. I'll probably get the Robotnik one just so I can have like a variant. But yeah, that's my Sonic figure collection, or my review of it. I'll probably do more reviews in this area and in this way. So if you guys know of any way that'll probably help me do this correctly. I was actually planning on doing, a white background, but I don't really have a way to do that right now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.